Welcome back to our MLB 30 for 30 videos. Today we're talking about the Pittsburgh Pirates. I'm Justin St. Peter.
And I'm Michael Hoeflinger.
Pittsburgh Pirates had a long playoff drought. The youth movement came as all their young players came up to the majors and really shined for them last year, getting them to the playoffs.
Yep, it was a total team effort to get there. They were led by their MVP winner, Andrew McCutchen. This guy can do it all. He can field, he can hit, he's super fast, really good at everything he does.
For a while, the Pirates' only threat at the plate was Andrew McCutchen. If you got around him, you'd be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, that was not the case, but Andrew McCutchen still their best player, the best player on the team for many years, MVP, All-Star. Just you can't say enough good things about him.
Yeah, just really top player. Any team would want this guy. He's a starter on any team. He's probably batting third on any team.
At their leadoff spot, they have Starling Marte, who's kind of a mini Andrew McCutchen without the home run power.
Yep, Starling Marte is if you could build a leadoff hitter, this is kind of what you want. He gets on base a lot. He steals a lot of bases and just causes havoc for the defense.
And he's also a very good fielder.
Yeah, he's got a cannon for an arm, too, in left field. You don't want to try and run on him.
The only thing that really concerns about anyone is about the strikeouts. He does strike out a lot.
Yeah, but I'll take that over all the stuff he does very well.
Betting right now, they have slotted a bad second as Jody Mercer, the shortstop. He'll be splitting time with Clint Barmas.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't think the shortstop should be batting second. I think Neil Walker should be batting second, and they should slide whoever's playing shortstop down in the order. But that's just my opinion. Jody Mercer coming up, they want him to be their everyday shortstop. I think Clint Barmas is going to be there to teach him and still see some good time though.
Yeah, between those two, they have very good defense. They're hitting about average. Hopefully Jody Mercer can take that extra step forward. But I agree, Neil Walker should definitely be second, not fifth.
Yeah.
Racine native Neil Walker, many-time All-Star, just a great all-around player.
Yeah, he's good at everything he does too. I mean, he does have some power in him too, and gets on base a lot, and not quite the base stealer of other guys, but I mean, he's good at everything he does.
Yes, definitely. McCutchen third, and then Pedro Alvarez, big home run power last year.
Yeah, he really came out last year, breakout year. The team had been waiting for this guy to make his move to be that guy, and doesn't have the best average, but I mean, he has quite a bit of home run power and doubles, everything. He's got power.
Yeah, Alvarez, not the greatest average, but oh my God, some of his towering home runs even went into the Allegheny River.
Mm-hmm.
Behind him, they have Russell Martin, a very underrated catcher for the Yankees and Dodgers for many years. He's one of the best at throwing out people in the game. Is one of the best game callers. That's really helped that Pittsburgh Pirates pitching staff.
Yeah, kind of an unsung hero for this team last year. I mean, no one really realizes how important a catcher is to success.
Yeah, he's a top player for their team.
Mm-hmm. Then at the bottom, they've got Gabby Sanchez and Jose Tabata. I think they just kind of had to settle for Gabby Sanchez, to be honest. They were out looking for that power first baseman, and Justin Morneau, they got him to trade, but his career is on the downturn now. So they just couldn't get that power hitter there. I think they settled for Sanchez, but they got a phenomenal top of the order anyways, so they can cover him up.
Yeah, Sanchez, he was an all-star for the Marlins at one point just because the Marlins basically needed an all-star. He's just an average, everyday player, nothing special. At the bottom of that lineup, they have Jose Tabata, Travis Snyder to take that right field spot. You said before that Tabata likes to go bounce between the minors back and forth.
Yeah, Tabata sees time at the minors practically every year, so he may be going back down there again, sorry, but I think who knows? I mean, this is his job for now. It's his job to lose. But Travis Snyder, maybe a little pressure on him. But batting eighth. I mean, you're not looking for a ton of production out of that.
Yeah, their rotation. They lost A.J. Burnett, who was their ace. That's a big loss for them. He's a great pitcher for them. It was a kind of a mess of that whole situation where he thought, I was going to retire, then I'm going to come back. kind of flip-flopped. Pirates didn't want any of it, and now he signed with the Phillies.
Yep. So they're going to have to call upon Francisco Liriano to be the ace now, and he's got good stuff. I mean, he's not the typical ace that you're going to hear big-name pitchers, but, I mean, he gets the job done and had a great year last year, and he's got some other guys behind him that can back him up as well.
Yeah, Liriano with the Twins, back and forth years. He had a good year, bad year. Last year he had a spectacular year with the Pirates. On that one-year deal, Pirates signed him to a bigger deal this offseason. He had a phenomenal year against lefties, which was most of his success. One of the best ever against left-handed hitters. They could not get a hit off of him.
Yep. And then to go down, looking at the bottom more beneath him, got Garrett Cole, who was a number 1 overall pick, big prospect for him. Pitched very well last year. I think he can continue to do that again, keep growing for this team, and he could be a guy to watch out for too. Dangerous number 2 pitcher.
Yeah, in the future he'll be their ace, but for right now, number 2, moving along slowly. Just a phenomenal pitcher who had a great postseason run as well.
Yep. Then they got Wandy Rodriguez too, good lefty pitcher, veteran that adds some leadership to this team and going to give you some solid innings. Real good against left-handed hitters as well, and just a guy that's going to eat up innings for him as well.
Yeah, he's been a solid player for a while. At one point, he's the Astros ace, but he fits very well as a 3 slot here.
Mm-hmm.
And then between Charlie Morton and Jeff Locke last year, they kind of had good peripheral numbers. But then towards the end of the year, they really fell off. So the back end of their rotation's a question mark.
Yeah, that's where you're going to beat them. And I mean, they acquired Edinson Volquez, who's been a very inconsistent pitcher, has good outings, has bad outings. So yeah, it's the bottom of their rotation is in question, and it's not as solid as it was last year. But that's probably the biggest weakness that happened this offseason was just their bottom of their starting rotation, just not as great as it could be.
And they have that spot, one of those spots open for Jameson Talon. They're another mega prospect that with Garrett Cole, who is the future of their franchise. Won't know if they'll have him up this year, but if they do, he's a great young pitcher as well.
Yeah, if he does come up, usually late May, early June is when these prospects come up and see what they've got. And it also depends on the club's record, too, at that time. If they're struggling, they'll probably bring them up. If they're not, then they may keep them down there and save them. But, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they start off after breaking the cold spell of playoff drought. And now they got to try and repeat again.
Yeah, a lot of that playoff drought gone was due to the bullpen.
Fantastic bullpen last year.
Yeah, Jason Gurley and Mark Melanson, 8th, 9th inning. You did not want to be trailing.
No, you're probably going to lose if you were at that point if you saw those two guys. I mean, Melanson and Gurley, guys that a lot of teams gave up on and found themselves in Pittsburgh and combined to be one of the best 8th and 9th inning combos to close out games in the whole league last year.
Yeah, Melanson really struggled. He was a decent player with the Astros, but really struggled with the Red Sox.
Mm-hmm.
He was just nobody knew anything about him. The Pirates just gave him a chance. And Gurley, you had talked about before about how crazy the story his was.
Yeah, this guy had a ton of just people gave up on him too, and now he's pitched in the All-Star game and everything. He's really had great save numbers, hardly blew any saves last season, so you always want to keep that number down and how many blown saves you have, and he certainly did that.
Yeah, their bullpen will be another strength of theirs this year. Potential All-Stars for this Pirates team.
There's going to be a lot, I see. Andrew McCutchen, Locke, pretty much. I mean, the only thing that's going to stop him is if he gets injured, but, I mean, fans love him. He's a definite lock to be probably a starter even too.
Oh yeah, definitely. When you're MVP, he'll make the playoff or make the All-Star game for sure.
Yep, Starling Marte could get in as well too if he puts up the numbers and causes havoc. Pedro Alvarez, his home run numbers are going to determine how much of an All-Star he is.
Neil Walker, another second baseman in the very stacked NL East second baseman.
Yep, and then Russell Martin too could be. Tough to be a catcher in the National League, but Russell Martin could be a potential All-Star. Pitching-wise, Lariano, Garrett Cole, maybe. I mean, this team has more all-stars in its bullpen than it does in the starting rotation. So Grilly and Melanson, I think those two guys have good chances as long as they continue to be that good 8th and 9th inning 1-2 punch that closes out games. I think they could be looked upon to be an all-stars.
I completely agree with all those. Melanson and Gurley, I don't know if they didn't get it last year. It'll be tough for both of them to get it this year, but if they have their same numbers, they could.
Yep, time for some bold predictions. It's tough to say this, but I mean, it's Pittsburgh. They have not been winning much over these last decade. Last year was an exception. I see them just taking a step back. I think they're on the Brewers level. That could be the Brewers fan in me talking, but I think the Pirates and the Brewers are about middle of the division, and they're not quite at Cincinnati and St. Louis level yet. But I think it's just because of their starting rotation, just not. The back end is not as strong, and tough division with St. Louis, who is always good.
Yeah, I think the Pirates are going to take a small step back this year. It's kind of like the Reds when they broke out a few years ago. They won the division, they had a step back year, and they're back in the playoffs again last year. I kind of see the Pirates doing the same thing. The Pirates had everything go right for them last year as a storybook playoff drought gone, storybook season. They're a very, very talented team, as you can see with the All-Stars. But I just think, maybe it is the Brewers fan, like he said, that they're at the Brewers level, and possibly Brewers can pass them. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
If not, I think they still have a chance to hit the playoffs.
They will be a good team for sure. They'll be one. If they don't make the playoffs, they'll be one of the better teams to not make the playoffs.
Definitely. All right. Thank you guys for watching, and next we'll have
the Cleveland Indians.
Thank you.